Alrighty, I've just been having a look at the chimney out there, and I won't show you now because the wind's blowing a bit, but there's grey sand under that boxthorn beside the old camper trailer / caravan, and when my uncle, this chimney was collapsed as hell, but he sort of rebuilt it, and like some of that is bricks from around here, but quite a few of them are ones that my grandfather had from part of a brick thing that he got rid of when he done an extension. The trouble is the mortar was just that sand out there. I believe it's from the other old family farm that got repossessed. It seems much like that sand. And he just got that and cement. But I think you're supposed to have that, cement and lime mixed in together to make mortar. Anyway, the mortar on this thing, I had to replace some of it down on the bathroom side when I was fixing this house up, and the rest of it looked alright, but after the last 7 years of rain and shit, there's some of it in the back there that I had a fucking screwdriver and I poked it in and fuck mate, it was like wet sand. I'm like, oh shit. You're starting to realise, well, some of it's eating out in between the bricks, and it's because it's fucking rubbish. I don't know. Uncle would never really do a great job of things, you know. Done a good job of carpentry. It's because that was what he was, you know, he was a carpenter, you know, but things either wouldn't get finished or other things would get a real fucking slop job of them. And yeah, but that's not what I want to talk about. I've stayed off the dating sites for about a month or so, and I've got back on there last night, and you know, I changed my address to another place that I thought had Aboriginals, and there's a place that's not too far from that, you know, where I've come across, isn't it funny, you know, changed my address, I was on there for a week more, I couldn't find one single Aboriginal girl, no matter how many searches I ran for that last week of being on there. Took a break for a month, come back, find 3 in one night in that same area. What the fuck? And a 4th one somewhere else. And I've got a terrible habit of, and I've bloody done it again, complimenting a girl while insulting someone else in the process. Like one girl there, she goes, oh, I'm, you know, trying to be the best person I can be and blah, 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 and I like to try and learn a lot and whatnot, and of course I'm not too sure it's her, but it's something about a weekend drink in there, and, you know, I said to her, good on you, it's great to see an Aboriginal girl having a go at things, and she sent back this one saying, I don't know if I'm supposed to be offended or flattered. And I realised what it sort of is. It's almost like, oh great, you're an Aboriginal girl, and you're actually sort of like, you're actually having a go of things. Oh, I'm so proud of you. You know, it's almost like that, the left does it with blacks in America, where there's that sort of, that thing of, I think Reagan had a fucking name for it, the hidden insult of low expectations, or what is it, it's like the hidden discrimination of low expectations, or something like this, silent discrimination of low expectations. It's sort of almost like as though I've said it, you know, I'm glad you're having a go, you know, you get out there girl and you go. Almost like it's tainted with the aspect of, you know, almost like I've said, because all these other Aboriginal bitches are hopeless, you know. I have trouble at times sort of giving a compliment without backhanding someone else in the process when it comes to talking to girls on dating sites. I'm fucking terrible at it, and I'll realise it doesn't sound right, and I go, oh, that's not quite right. So I'll reword it, but essentially I've still given her a compliment while backhanding someone else, even after I realise it isn't right, and I've reworded it, but even when it's reworded, I'm still backhanding someone while giving her a compliment, you know. And I just sort of said, oh, in Western Australia where I grew up, Aboriginal drunken fights were an everyday thing, and not necessarily in my town, but in some of the surrounding towns they were, and yeah, friend of my mother's Aboriginal woman was asleep in the house she was in one of the front rooms, and she heard a colossal bang and crash and thought, holy shit, sounds like the fucking house is caving in. So she ran out the front door, out in the front yard, and then she realised through the gap between the fence and the house that something was going on in the back. It was the daughter's ex-boyfriend, who she had dumped, coming to kill her by crushing the back of a house with an articulated Caterpillar loader, like earth-moving equipment, that he'd stolen from the local government. He'd busted in a local government depot, stole this fucking thing, drove it down the road to her house, and was pushing the back of the house in with this fucking fairly decent-sized fucking front-end loader, articulated four-wheel drive Caterpillar thing. Just fucking smashed in a couple of rooms at the back. And they wonder why we think they're wild and crazy. I know that deep down a lot of these girls are nice girls and they're well-meaning, but they can easily get run off track. And too much sugar, too much alcohol, too much cigarettes, and now too many fucking bongs. And it's a bit like the Canadian Inuits. They're sort of, probably not supposed to say this, but a friend of my sister's met one and didn't know anything about them, and here in Australia, he was over here in Australia and was friends for about 6 months and got married, and the marriage only lasted for about 4 weeks or 6 weeks or something, but long and short of it is she knew nothing of the Canadian Inuits, and I've heard that some of the Indians like drinking a little bit too much too, but she went over there and saw the reservations and saw the drugs and the degradation of society going on, and it's as much the same around where I grew up. Not full blown. As further north you get, the worse it gets, or the worse it was getting, and now they've sort of got it under control by more or less having a prohibition. Not a full prohibition, but not far off a prohibition. But yeah, my big mouth sometimes fucks me up. And I realise that something's not quite right, so then I change the wording and then go send, and it's just like, but it still isn't right. Another girl there, half German, half Aboriginal, really looks Aboriginal, but instead of having teeth worse than Austin Powers, like most of them have some terrible teeth. And it's genetic. It's not just eating food. It's just genetic. And this girl's got perfect teeth. And I said to her, "Gee, you have the best teeth. You got perfect teeth." And then I said, "I don't see that very often amongst Aboriginal girls." And it's almost like, "You've got beautiful teeth, but all those other Aboriginal girls, their teeth are usually shit." And the fact is, they usually are shit. But it's sort of almost like as though I'm saying, your teeth are so lovely, but all your friends, they all got shit teeth. They're all fucked. Your mum's teeth are fucked. All your friends are all... The truth is that is the truth, but did I really need to give a compliment while backhanding every other Aboriginal girl's teeth? Probably not. Probably wasn't a good idea. Yeah, I tend to do things like this, and not the best. Sometimes if I really make an effort, it is all right. There's one girl there, I don't like to fucking say shit, and I probably shouldn't even be saying this, but she had the capital city of Vanuatu, Port Vila. I think it's Loganville's the biggest one, but Port Vila is the capital. She had Port Vila, Vanuatu, Victoria. And I thought, what is it? Because you see these ones with, they got fucking like Los Angeles, Victoria, or Los Angeles, something fucking, or, and you just think, what the fuck is this? And it turns out they're usually girls who are moving into the area, so they're looking for someone in that area. And some of them are, it's just bizarre, Melbourne, New South Wales, and it's like, hang on a minute, what the fuck's that mean? If you go from Melbourne to New South or vice versa. But she had Port Vila, Vanuatu, Victoria. And I thought, alright. So I thought, well, I'll ask her. So I asked her. And I thought, nah, don't just ask her in English. Be a smart cookie. Ask her in her own language, her own Bislama, it's called. It's a form of Pidgin English. I speak it fairly well. There's a couple of words I've still got to get down pat, and I'm going to ask her about those words. But, I'm quite good with it. And I can also type it and write it and read it and all that. So I thought, be a smart cookie here. Ask her in English and then ask her in Bislama. So I did that. She was quite surprised. She was quite happy that someone could actually speak her language on here. And so I think in due course, we haven't said much, but she's 28 and she is fucking gorgeous. She works for a phone company. I don't know if that's over there or if it's here, but she's coming here next year sometime. I haven't talked much to her at all, but I'm going to try and just, keep sticking to her language. And I think that'd make her feel fairly comfortable. And we'll see how we go. A lot of these things you see girls and you think, oh, this is great, this is a fucking good girl. And one night they're on there and then that's it. Fucking gone. But she's actually got a paid membership, which is fairly uncommon. Well, it happens, but it's not many of them are like that, So, we'll see how it goes. But I tell you what, there is nothing ugly about this girl at all. I mean, she's fucking quite good. Not that I'm really into that. I'm more a big tits guy, but a lot of you sort of secretly work that out if I hadn't said it already. But the same token, at this point, I'd just be happy for a woman who had a fucking head screwed on and wasn't entitled and, meant what she said and said what she meant. And I didn't scare her off by accidentally backhanding somebody else while trying to compliment her. Because we've got to convert the language all the time, it takes a second, because the grammar's fucking different. So it takes a second, and a few of the words are different too. There's a lot of words with M on the end, so you won't say, I can cook, or I am cooking. You say, me fela cooking cassava no more. We, well, it could be I, but it's actually we, are cooking cassava only. So they, instead of saying cooking or I'm cooking, you say cookum. Me cookum cassava no more. And it's actually spelt how it sounds. And I notice, I started using the low and blow as they do in the Solomon Islands, and she responded that way, whereas Vanuatu's the long and blong instead of low and blow. Solomon Islands is a shorter one, and it's fucking far harder to understand because they're just really bad at rolling words into each other and just slopping it together so bad you battling to understand it. Whereas Vanuatu, they're quite clear when they speak it. So I will also keep in mind that my phone has a certain few hours of international calls included in the plan per month. But yeah, because I've got to think through the conversion, I'm not likely to say anything terribly stupid, but I'll continue tonight telling her a bit about myself and whatnot. It's probably another case of here goes nothing, but we'll see, you know, we'll see. I really feel that just a girl with a head screwed on would be great, and it's... Oh, Tim! I was talking to him, and he said I'd be better off with a Dutch South African girl, but while they might have a similar culture, what I've noticed amongst the South Africans I've known over here, not just the bosses I've had, but other South Africans as well, they've got a really high standard of living. Like, they're sort of real BMW, Mercedes-Benz type people, you know, and they're just sort of, they're very, very motivated, but they're also got that BMW type lifestyle, and I'm not, yeah, I'm not having trouble with white girls who expect a fairly high standard of living to then change over to white girls who expect an even higher again standard of higher living, because all you've done is just traded up to another white girl who expects things to be even better than the ones already here. Doesn't make much sense. I really think it's going to take a change of culture to get one of these real down-to-earth type black girls, you know, who just happy islander type, not a you know, or just a simple Aboriginal type girl who's not one of these ones who wants fucking Rolls-Royce existence while marrying a ham and egger like myself, you know. I'm not saying I'm fucking poor, and I'm not saying I'm rich, but I am saying I don't like wasting money on stupid shit. And I really think it's just going to take a change of culture, you know, like, and this is what it is. This is my problem. Is not only the fact that I sometimes word things very badly, but the fact that it's just, you know, I need someone more attuned to the simple person I am, more attuned to the off-grid lifestyle. And while I'm not saying they've got to live in the freezing cold with candles, like so many people assume with off-grid, I don't need this materialistic city bullshit, and that's what you tend to find amongst white women here, you know. And so the only real answer is a change of cultures. And, you know, some people are, about, you know, different cultures marrying each other. Well, the way I'm going, it's either change of cultures or I'm just never getting married at all. You can only give it a shot, you know. So anyway, that's a bit of the frickin' the dramatous world of Link's non-existence love life, you know. How could a man have so little sex but so much drama in his love life?